Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday and welcome back. It's time again for our weekly member spotlight. Very excited today to be sitting down with Brian Lane from Prodigy Properties. And today's another one of those interviews I'm excited about because I don't know Brian very well. We just met, a month or so ago at a social media committee meeting. And so I'm excited to get to learn a little bit more about Brian and to share a little more with him to you. So before we get started with our interview, I did want to say thank you to everyone who joined us last night at our Holiday Cheers event at the Kenwood Country Club. Very successful event. We're excited to report the numbers. We don't have them just yet, so stay tuned for that in the next week or so. But we had over 400 people there last night, and if you were part of that event, you will be able to testify how fabulous it was. We had a ton of prizes, gave away a lot of cash, and made a lot of money to benefit our outreach program. So thank you for everyone who supported that, and we look forward to sharing the results very soon. All right, without further ado, Brian, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, well, thanks for spending your Friday morning with us.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. We're gonna just dive right in. Would you take a moment and maybe just tell everyone who you work for and what you do?
Sure. I work for Prodigy Properties. I am the operations manager for them. I've done that for a number of years now, and it's exciting. It's a different day every day, and you get to meet a lot of fun people.
I bet. And so Brian is the first person that we've interviewed here with our IGrow committee. Tell us a little bit about IGrow.
So the IGrow committee is for independent realtor owners. It's the smaller group of people, not the guys that have the 1,000 units plus. Mm-hmm. It's the smaller group, but it's a good learning experience. You get to collaborate with a bunch of different people if you're having troubles with residents or evictions, or just need to know how to expand your business. It really helps in those areas. It's great to be part of.
Yeah, wonderful. I just got to know a little bit more about that myself, being on the board, and Liz is on the board as well, and so she's often talking about your meetings and the kind of topics that the IGrow folks are interested in. It's the same kind, I think we share the same kind of challenges and
yes.
Look for the same kind of opportunities, whether you're managing 1,000 units or a couple hundred units.
Absolutely.
So how did you get into property management?
So property management, I started working for Prodigy about 13 years ago. They were flipping houses, and from flipping the houses, kind of went to 10, 20 unit apartment buildings. So it kind of like evolved, and then from the 10, 20 units, it went up to an 80 unit, and then just blew up from there. We're about to 200 or so units now.
Okay. What did you do prior to getting into property management?
Prior to that, I actually worked for a gas station. I was a petroleum transfer engineer, if you can call it that.
Yeah.
But I worked for them for maybe 10 years prior or something like that. But it was interesting. Got to see some interesting people. Had a lot of regulars that came in through there. Learned a lot of people's habits and things. But it was getting kind of boring standing behind a desk for 12 hours or so a day. So
never a boring day in property management, I would say.
No, it's not.
Well, what's one of your more memorable stories about being in the property management business?
So when we first took over our larger property, there was a resident there that had moved in 1984, so he had been there for a number of years already, and he was a super nice guy. Him and his wife, Bill and Evelyn Erb, got to know them really well. Super friendly. They give you anything that you wanted while you were in there, and just real interesting. And get to talk to him about some of his stories of when he was a war vet, and then his life and career and things like that he had. But super friendly people and amazing to be around.
That was one of my favorite stories too, is a person that I met through being a property manager, and like the relationship that we had. That's to me, of all the crazy stories and all of the insane things that you see from day to day going into places, my most memorable moment too was meeting somebody that was just an awesome person.
Absolutely.
So I like that. Well, having been in the business for a decade plus now, I'm sure you've got some advice to share. What kind of advice would you give to the next generation of people getting into property management?
So really, like the next generation, if some of the people can start focusing on maintenance careers, that would be a huge thing, just because there's such a large shortage of maintenance personnel right now.
Yeah.
that it's going to be a well-paying job. It is a well-paying job, and it will be even more in the future here as the older people that are in the industry start to kind of retire and move on and things. If a new younger person is moving into that spot, they're they're going to be paid well. So that would be a great thing for someone to start as a maintenance career.
That's really great advice, and it is a problem. It's a huge challenge in our industry right now, locally and afar. I know some of the folks on our board and people who are even affiliated with the National Apartment Association are really working on that as an initiative to make property management and the service end of things a little more just well known, and have that as a career option for high school kids who are maybe thinking about getting into a trade.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really sage advice. I like that. So what kind of involvement do you have with the GCNKA?
So with the Apartment Association, I am involved in the social media committee, the trade show committee, the IGrow committee, and then the education committee.
Yeah. You're
Have,
so involved you can't even remember it all.
I've got a few different ones, and then
Right.
I've also earned a few different designations from them as well too. I have my CAM, CAPS, and NALP as well.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on those. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
And thanks for all of your support. That's a lot of committees to be on, and all very valuable committees. So.
Yeah, no, it's a key thing, the Apartment Association, with being able to help everybody else with what they do. So it is important to be involved and to give what you can to them and to help them grow.
How do you think being a member of the association for what you do benefits you?
I think that makes great connections to people, to contractors, to other companies, to like IGrow, to help kind of feel the problems that you have, and then with my involvement being in with the bigger people at the same time too, it's nice to see like what is the big guy doing.
Right.
So it helps us grow as a company.
Good. We appreciate that very much. All right, can we shift gears a little bit? Maybe get to a few personal questions?
Let's go.
This is always the fun part. So tell us a little bit about your family.
So I am married to my wife Ashley Lane, and I have 2 young kids, 2 boys, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. He just turned 2 in November. But great, they're growing like weeds. It's awesome. It's tons of fun and never a dull moment.
Good. What kind of activities do you do? Hobbies or pastime with the family or on your own?
So we actually just got back from vacation. Every Thanksgiving we go on a cruise with my family. So it's we had about 17 people with us
Oh, wow.
on the cruise, and yeah, it was that's one of our favorite things to do. Each year you kind of look forward to Thanksgiving, but then at the same time you're not looking forward to it because it's winter.
Right. Where did you go? What kind of cruise was it?
We went on a Carnival cruise line. We went to Costa Maya, Cozumel, Grand Cayman, and Roatan.
Oh, wow.
So went to a few different places.
Very fun. So no turkey on Thanksgiving. You were probably sipping tropical drinks.
We were sipping tropical drinks, but yes, we did. They did have turkey.
Did they really?
Yeah,
That's
so
funny.
they had
I know
turkey.
someone else who went on a cruise during the Thanksgiving week. I was like, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's fun. It's easy because you don't have a kitchen to clean when you're done.
There you go. Hey, that's probably the best thing ever.
Mhm.
Well, do you have any pets in the fam?
I do. We have a black lab mix. His name's Falco. His name's Falco, but he's my wife got him for me for a not a Christmas gift, a wedding gift.
Oh.
Back in 2010 when we got married. But he's an amazing dog, great, tons of fun. He's super friendly with the family. He loves the 2 little boys, and he says hi to all the neighbors when they're walking up and down the street.
Well, he has to be a very good dog to have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old little boy as his family. So good. What's your favorite TV show or movie?
Probably my favorite movie would probably be Wayne's World or Dumb and Dumber. One of the 2.
Both classics,
Yeah.
absolutely. Wayne's World came out when I think I was a freshman in high school, and that movie, like, forever will be epic. So what kind of sports do you get involved in?
So I root for the home team. Always want the Bengals and the Reds to win.
Yeah.
But probably the thing that I like the best is hockey. I played hockey when I was through high school. Kind of aged out of it, but still try and play every now and then.
Yeah.
Last year it was cold enough for long enough that we were actually able to play some pond hockey, which is
Oh,
really
wow.
get outside
Is
and
that
do it. Sort of. You hear the ice cracking here and there,
Yeah.
but it was maybe 6 inches thick, so that's strong enough.
What position do you play on the ice rink?
I played defense because I'm about 6'3", and when I was in high school I was about 6'3" as well, so I was about 6 inches taller than everybody else.
Do you have all of your teeth from the hockey playing?
Yes, didn't lose any from that.
You know, I took my son to a hockey game, and he was like mortified at all the fighting, and I was like, that's kind of why people come to the hockey games, but he was like, I don't like that.
You gotta keep it interesting.
Yeah, for real. Have you ever been in a fight?
So when I played, you would get kicked out for fighting.
Oh,
so I never got in a fight, but I would always try and get somebody else to fight me so they would get kicked out of the
oh,
game.
hey,
So,
that's a strategy.
but
There you go.
spent plenty of time in the penalty box though.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you very much. I want to just maybe wind it down with a question. You mentioned the 2 and 5-year-old little ones in your house. I'm sure this is an exciting time of year for you, the holidays, but tell us about maybe some of your family traditions or what you're going to do this year to celebrate the holidays.
Yeah, so we just, since we were on vacation, we were a little late setting up the tree, so we were able to do that last night as a family,
Good.
which was tons of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have our extended family coming up this weekend here for the Lane side of the family, which is about 50 people, I
Oh,
think.
wow.
So it's a huge group trying to get together, and there'll be a lot of laughs, a little bit of cigar smoke, and some good drinks.
Yeah.
But and then looking forward to actually Christmas itself and spending the time with my family and being able to open up presents, see the kids' faces.
Yeah.
I think that would be great.
Santa coming this year?
Yes.
They've been good?
Santa's coming.
Yeah. Do you guys do the elf on the shelf thing?
No, we haven't started that yet, but we probably will.
That is a commitment.
I know. That's the thing.
That
You
is
don't
a
want to
thing.
get involved in it.
Right. Well, good. Well, thank you very much, Brian. It's been a pleasure getting to know you a little bit. We are going to make a post a little bit later this afternoon with Brian's responses and some really cute pictures of him and his family. I did want to just make mention, we are working on the calendar for our weekly member spotlight for 2019. And if you or someone that you know would be interested in being a feature of this spotlight, please reach out to the Apartment Association office. You can email Nancy or Heather or Michelle, and we will get all of the information to you that you need to complete to get on the schedule to do this. We really have had a great success and love getting to know our members like Brian and hear more from them about their experience in the business and some advice that they have, and just to learn a little bit more about who they are as a human being. So we hope that you've enjoyed this interview, and look for the post later today, and everyone have a fabulous weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.